An all-Croatian, all-unseeded clash and a first-time ATP World Tour meeting between two top 10 players are the two themes in Saturday's semi-finals at the China Open in Beijing. The first semi-final was between doubles partners Ivan Ljubičić and Marin Cilic. The two players are in similar situations right now. Both are former top 10 players and both are now ranked in the mid-20s. There was nothing to split them early on, with both holding serve. Clearly, the first break was going to be crucial. Coach Bob Brett was casting a critical eye over Cilic from the stands, and the youngster who had never previously beaten Ljubičić drew first blood, finally converting his fifth break point. Then he served out the set to move into a very strong position. He had his heart set on a second Beijing final after being runner-up here 2 years ago. This was Ljubicic's third semi-final in Beijing, and he desperately needed a break, but every time he got close, Cilic rebuffed him, saving 7 break points in all. Cilic pressed hard in the second set, hitting 13 aces in total. He eased through to the final, winning 6-4, 6-3. Bob looked almost happy. Ljubičić had the consolation of a double semi-final later to look forward to.
It was a really close match, especially that first set. A lot of games were on juice, on 30-all advantage juice. Then I was saving some break points. He saved a couple in the beginning of the match, and it was really tight, and the tensions were in the air. And eventually, when I got that break, it was, a really crucial moment. I served out the last game of that set extremely well, and then beginning of that second set was also really important. He had 2 break points. And then I started to serve, I think, the best so far this tournament, and kept it going until the end.
The second semi-final pitted number 1 seed Jo-Wilfried Tsonga of France against number 3 seed Thomas Berdych of the Czech Republic. Curiously, this was the first time these two had met in an ATP World Tour level match. Not surprisingly, serve dominated the early exchanges. Neither man had lost a set this week, so that record had to give at some point. Berdych was the man who was able to keep his run intact as he forced the initiative in the first set. Tsonga was broken for only the 3rd time this week, having won 34 of 36 games previously. First set to Berdych. Tsonga's 7-match winning streak was under threat. He desperately needed to get the upper hand in the second set. The Frenchman became more aggressive, attacking Berdych's second serve and finally got his break, levelling the match at 1-all. Everybody thought the tide had turned, but Berdych remained ice cool. Superb temperament from the Czech number 1. Berdych hasn't been to the finals of a major event since Wimbledon last year, so he was determined to succeed. He broke Tsonga and moved relentlessly on to dominate this final set. He won 6-4, 4-6, 6-1. So, vital points for Berdych in his bid for a final spot in London, but more importantly, he's in the final tomorrow against Marin Cilic.
So far the week is great, I'm so far feeling well on court, playing good tennis, and that goes together with a good result. So for me the important thing is that I can play well, I can even bring a higher and higher level of my game every next match, and I will try to do it same for tomorrow, and we will see.